I've been saying this, I'm going to do the Lakers video. Here it is, guys. Obviously, I'm in my uniform, ready to go into work, so it's going to be as quick as possible, but obviously, so many games have gone by, and I have not made a video. I am still a Lakers fan. I will say that I had the NBA pass on the YouTube, and now that it's expired, I'm kind of debating whether or not it's even worth actually renewing, because at this point the games that I can watch, I'm not able to replay. All I can see is highlights, so it's kind of like blah, I don't mind highlights because at the same time it does kind of break down the film pretty quickly. However, I like to watch the game completely because you can actually see the ball transition, the turnovers, and all that, into detail and how it's working. So obviously, my thoughts going into 10 games. I'm quite impressed that this team has been such an improvement in offense in comparison to the previous years. But I think with our previous coach, we had the problem of rotations, and for the very longest time, never having the right rotation until it was too late, and we're mid-season. So it's nice to see that JJ Redick has utilize our players to their best ability. Obviously, we still have injuries with Vanderbilt being out. I'm not sure what the situation is. It's been almost a year now at this point. Almost. I don't know. It feels like forever at this point. When is Vanderbilt coming back? I think he's a big team changer for this because he does provide a lot of offense, and he also provides defense, whether it's assists, whether it's him attacking the rim, which I think with the exception of AD, we don't have that variety. I do like that Max Christie's more involved this season than it was in the previous season. I feel like that took very long from our previous coach to fucking put him in. So seeing him have more minutes is encouraging. I think the starting five has been pretty good. I am not a big, huge fan of Cam Reddish. I do understand the defense perspective that you need to have somebody that's going to help contribute to that because we are not the best defensive team. However, I feel like when you're already got your identity and you know that your identity is you don't do defense, I think you just put your offensive players at this point the best that there is and just have them all start going because you don't want them to be like, I think when you put your best offensive players, you develop them to have a hot streak. So if all 5 players start having hot streaks, guess what? It's a lot harder for other teams to defend because everybody has the ability to be on a hot streak. So I do not really care for Cam Reddish. I mean, I think he's great. He does give some defense and somewhat. I don't even think he, honestly, offensively, he doesn't do anything. And I get it. You either got to contribute completely to the offense or to the defense, which I feel bad for D'Lo. Not having him in the starting lineup, but he was so inconsistent offensively and he wasn't doing anything defensively. So this was the right decision to have him in the bench. I would want him to be our 6-man player and be that person when someone gets subbed out that he's going to make a big change and game changer. I hope this brings him to that level and prove that he is, adamant about fighting and staying on this team because I am really concerned in how he's playing this season. So obviously being down Rui Hachimura, which Rui was doing good. I don't think he's, like I said, he's also kind of inconsistent, but I think he's a lot better than D'Lo. So I think keeping him in the rotation of the starting 5 obviously is a thing. Dalton Knecht, what an amazing pickup. I don't think we've had a first-round pick who has done so well and impressive in a very, very long time. Now, some people might have arguments with it, but you can keep that to yourself. I think Dalton Knecht is probably like the Brock Bowers of football. In the comparison, he's just doing so great, and I think he's going to be amazing all season long. And he does provide that offense that that missing piece. I feel like a key player. Like he is so good, and the ability to now have more than 1 or 2 players like LeBron James and AD be solely the offense is going to make a huge lift of the weight from these 2 players, especially knowing that LeBron is getting older and at one point he's going to have a time where he's not going to want to have so many minutes and at a time that he's not going to produce that much points. So it's nice to have Dalton because it gives me a little bit of hope once LeBron retires that this person can continue the legacy that we are building and hopefully go to a championship game. I'm hoping, like I said, seeing the starting 5, it's great to see rotations. I like Max Christie. If I was to tell you my best starting 5, it'd be Dalton, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, LeBron, and AD. If Vanderbilt comes in, then we can sub in, obviously, Max Christie with Vanderbilt. I know some people don't like some people are wanting Reeves to be out of the starting five. I think Reeves does the best in ball facilitation and, you know, coordinating. I do think that he has problems with turnovers and letting things like that happen, but so do the other players, but not to the same degree. I get that some of that is kind of, you know, difficult to watch, but I think Austin Reeves is your best point guard at this point. You continue to ride with him and go from there. I am excited, like I said, seeing this offensive, you know, transition, all these people kind of going in and out. It's exciting. I think for me to be impressed, we need to be consistently winning away games, which we haven't. We've been struggling each week. I feel like when we go against away games, it's a struggle to watch this offense go and do the wins. I do appreciate JJ Redick for being 100% involved in this team in comparison to previous coaches who I felt like didn't watch the players long enough to realize who really should start. Like, you shouldn't be making rotations constantly to your starting five unless there's injuries until the halfway NBA season. Like, that's insanity at that point. I'm hoping that, you know, at this point, we're looking pretty good offensively. I do have concerns with the home and away games and stuff like that, but I think we have a good chance to be playoffs contenders, if not championship contenders. I think our biggest thing is defense and the ability for the other team to continue to score points. Obviously, last night's game I was able to watch, so seeing them score 70 points in the second half is, I mean, I kind of know it's the Lakers, so it's like not a surprise because like I said before, we don't have a lot of defense. So to see this team struggle in the second quarter, I think it's more of like they had the foot on the pedal, they slowed down the pedal, but they didn't make an attempt to try to stop the other team at this point because, you know, some of the players were going hot. So I am concerned knowing that obviously with the away games, a lot of them we just played home, that our ability to win is going to be really hard unless like some of these people consistently play good. I think rotations are going to be a big difference. I think people being healthy is going to be a huge like game changer. I'm hoping that, you know, Dalton continues to blossom, that we don't need LeBron as much time. I feel like if the more we depend, I feel like the more minutes that we depend on LeBron, the more ability that we depend on him to score. I feel like a majority of the time, I would say 60 to 70% of the chances we lose those games, because if LeBron's got to make all the points and do all the time, we're just not going to be successful as a team. So obviously, D'Lo stepping back, he needs to be the sixth man. He needs to bring that team. I think he needs to be like the Derek Fisher towards the end of the championship for Kobe. During that time when he came off the bench, he was refreshed, giving this team more offense and ability to extend the drives, not the drives, but you know what I mean, like get the rebounds, assists, and not turn the ball over. I think with D'Lo, I am worried that he's starting to get even worse as games progress. So I hope that he just hopefully gets out of that mentality that he doesn't want to be a bench player. I think you need to be a team player. It doesn't matter whether you're a starter or a bench player. You need to contribute as much as you can, and hopefully this will be the recipe for our championship win, hopefully. I feel like I need a lot more from this team on away games to feel that we are contenders and championship ready, especially considering the Nuggets are still going to be one of our biggest contenders to go against. I'll be interested in how our first game goes against them. I like how we played the Suns. However, the Suns are also inconsistent, just as bad as the Lakers, so it's hard to actually ballpark where we stand in the standards of like how great we'll do at the end of the season. It's still too early. Tell me what you think. Do you like the rotations? Do you like the things that we've been doing with JJ Redick, you know, making the changes to coach and staff? I'm at this point, I'm giving so far 10 games into the season. I'm giving this season so far a 7 out of 10. And what do you think? Are you thinking like you're all in? There's nothing to complain about, or are you also having concerns? And what are your concerns? So I will tell you, like I said, I haven't been able to watch every single game. So because of the fact that I work so much, it's been tough, but I've been able to watch here and there. I can't speak to every single game, so if I'm wrong on certain aspects, that's fine. This is why we're having a dialogue. Tell me what you guys think, and see ya. Bye.